Look at your shower glass in the light. That grey haze across it, the one your finger drags a line through but never lifts. The tub that stays dull no matter how long you kneel there. The dark creeping along the corner where the water sits. You have decided that shower is simply old. It is not old. It is coated, and coated things come clean. Here is the part nobody tells you, and it takes 15 seconds. That film is not dirt. Dirt sits on top of a surface and soap carries dirt away, which is where this is soap that met hard water and turned into something else. A hard grey crust bonded onto the glass, and the dark in the corner is a living thing with roots under the seal. Soap cannot lift a crust and soap cannot kill a root. You have been scrubbing with the one thing that was never going to work and then blaming your arm. My name is Grace. I ran a housekeeping floor for 30 years, 14 minutes a room, and a supervisor came behind me with a light and checked the corners. You do not get 14 minutes by scrubbing hardly. You get it by knowing what the surface is, putting the right thing on it, and walking away while it works. So before anything touches that shower, we do the thing every video skips. We find out what your shower is made of, because the wrong cleaner on the wrong surface leaves damage you cannot undo. Run your knuckle along the wall. If it sounds hollow and gives slightly, it is acrylic or fiberglass. That surface scratches if you look at it wrong, so nothing gritty ever. And it is and if there is any natural stone in there, marble, travertine, slate, a stone threshold at the door, then stop. As it eats stone, it will etch a permanent dull patch into it in about a minute, and every cheerful set of instructions online will hand you an acid and never mention it. On stone, you use plain warm water and a soap made for stone, and nothing else ever. Now the mistake, and it is the same one in every bathroom I have ever walked into. Somebody sprays the wall and they start screaming this compound. Within about 20 seconds, most of what you sprayed is in the drain and the wall is barely damp. You're now scrubbing a dry crust with a wet cloth, which is why your arm aches and the haze is still there. The product was never given the one thing it needed, which is time on the surface, and there's a second half to that, which is heat. Run the shower hot for 2 minutes before you spray anything and then shut it off. The walls come up to temperature. The air goes damp, and everything you put on afterwards runs hot. A cold, dry wall is the worst surface you can hand a cleaner. We did that in every room without thinking about it, because the previous guest had already done it for us. So here is the mix. And it costs about $1. Half water, half plain white vinegar, and 1 teaspoon of any blue dish soap in a spray bottle. The vinegar is a mild acid and it dissolves the mineral crust. The dish soap is what makes it cling instead of run, and that is the only reason it is in there at shape before Nifo. The dwell time is not one number, it is a ladder, and you set it by what you are looking at. Light haze, the kind you only see in raking light, 5 minutes. A crust you can feel with the fingernail but not catch on, 15 minutes. A crust that catches your nail, 30 minutes, and you're going to miss it again halfway through, because the single biggest error after not waiting at all is letting it dry on the wall. A dried cleaner stopped working, and it is now a second fin you had his. And you can find out where you sit on that ladder in about a minute without buying anything. Fill a clear bottle a third full from the bathroom tap, add a few drops of that same dish soap, cap it and shake it hard for 5 seconds. If you get a tall head of foam that stays, your water is soft and your crust will be thin. If you get almost no foam and the water goes cloudy and milky instead, your water is hard, and everything I just said about 30 minutes and the misting it applies to you. That it in mills is extra. Now the order, this is the part that is actually the profession. An amateur cleans wherever they are looking. A housekeeper walks one direction and never goes back over ground she has finished, because going back is how 14 minutes becomes 40. Start at the top corner, furthest from the door, and spray the whole box, walls, glass, fixtures, all of it, top to bottom, and let the ladder run. While it dwells, you leave. You do not stand there. You go to the sink and the mirror, because that time is free and most people start on the glass because it is the part that bothers them most, and then they spend the next 20 minutes splashing the walls and the fittings and putting spots straight back onto the one surface they had already finished. The glass is the last thing you touch before you dry, and if you take nothing else from the order, take that. Then you come back and work top down in bands about an arm's width wide, top band all the way round, then the middle band, then the doubled, the dry sides to look through like everything you loosen runs down onto surface you have not reached yet. Never onto surface you have finished. If you clean the top first and the walls second, you will clean that top twice and you will feel like the shower is fighting you. It is not fighting you. You went the wrong way. Your tools are 3 and gentleness matters more than strength. A soft white sponge for the flapped surfaces. Warm it under the hot tap first 30 seconds and it goes noticeably softer and kinder on the finish. A soft neither bright grout the cane is grout on the and a cloth for drying that is dry, genuinely dry, not the damp one you have been wiping with. The textured floor of the tub, the part with all the little ridges cut into it, will defeat a spray every time because liquid runs straight off it. That one wants a thick cream cleanser instead, sprayed in, brushed along the grooves, left 5 minutes rinsed, and for the dark in the corners the vinegar sits longest of anywhere, because you are not wiping a stain off the top. You are trying to reach under the silk. 20 minutes there, and here is how you tell which one you are looking at before you waste an afternoon. Press the dark with your fingertip through a dry cloth. If it lifts and the cloth marks, it is sitting on the surface and it will come off. If it stays exactly as dark and the cloth comes back clean, it has gone under the silicone and it is grown from behind. Nothing you can buy reaches that. That is a strip and resin. Itilakam bottle. Now, the glass is eternal John. Once the crust is off, the glass will still look faintly cloudy in the light, and that is because it is very slightly etched now. Years of minerals drying on it have taken the polish off. No cleaner brings that back. What brings it back is the polish, the kind sold for car glass, worked over the pane and buffed off, and that fills and levels the surface again. That is a once-a-year job, not a weekly one. And once you have done it, the glass wants sealing, the same way a car windscreen fan does. A rain repellent wiped on and buffed off, and the water beads and runs instead of sheeting and drying in place. It lasts a few months and it costs almost nothing, and it is the single thing that separates glass that stays clear from glass you fight forever. 2 things I will not let you do. Never bring a strong acid near that shower, not a drain product, and never ever a toilet cleaner. Whatever you have read, those are built for Victorian cell, which is a much harder surface than the Nidap that Nadad Kalina ilk. And if you have already done it, and some of you have, stop trying to correct it with a stronger product. That patch is damage, not dirt. On enamel, a professional can reglaze it. On acrylic, there is a repair kit and it is honest work, but no cleaner will bring it back, and buying a harsher one only widens it. Then you rinse, top down, same direction, and here is the part that decides whether you are back on your knees next month. You dry it. Take that the dry from much to high did it hell. Every bit of that haze began as a drop of water left to dry by itself, and every drop leaves its minerals behind when it goes. Dry it now and tomorrow starts clean. Leave it wet and you have already begun building the next crust tonight. And that is the whole maintenance, and it is 90 seconds. After each shower, run a squeegee down the glass and the walls, 30 seconds. Then the dry cloth over the metal and the ledge, another 30. Then leave the fan running 20 minutes after you walk out. Not 2, because the room is still full of water and a fan that stops at 2 minutes has done nothing. Every hotel bathroom you have ever walked into and thought looked new was not deep cleaned that morning. It was dried every single day by somebody who knew that a dry surface cannot build a crust and cannot grow a root. That is the whole difference between a hotel bathroom and a home one. And it is not the products and it is not the money. A hotel never deep cleans a shower because they hold depth there. The work is small and it is daily and it is boring, and that is exactly why it works. Nobody sells you anything for that, which is probably why nobody told you. 30 years of other people's bathrooms taught me one thing worth passing on. Almost nothing in a bathroom is worn out. It is coated, and it is coated because water was allowed to sit and dry where it landed. I have walked into bathrooms people were ashamed of that they had already had quoted for replacement and had them looking sound again before the quote came back. Not because I am strong and not because I had anything you cannot buy for a couple of pounds. Because I knew what was on the surface and I gave it the time instead of the pressure. Find out what your surface is, put the right thing on it, give it the time it actually needs, work one direction and dry it when you are done. Go and put your finger on that glass tonight and know that it is not dirt and it was never your arm. Then tell me in the comments how old your building is and how hard your water runs, because the energy and the dark which may pay thank you.